It worked. It all worked. We are live. Yes, computer. Thank you for letting me know that I'm live. Well, waiting for you lovely butterflies to join in. Hello, Trude. Can you hear me all right? Let's close this. Hello, Lotta. Hello, Jane. Hello, my lovely butterflies. Always so cool to see you join in. So the computer is telling me that we have an excellent connection. I hope that's the case. Hi, Linda. Loud and clear, and everyone can hear me. So all is well in the world. Are we ready for a new theme for today? Starting with something completely new. I think we've done bits and pieces of this theme before, but we've never done it as thoroughly as we're going to do it this month. So I'm looking forward to it. And by the way, to all of those who played the game last month, well done you, because it was not an easy one. This was a tough theme to work on. Well, depending on how in depth you wanted to do it. But yeah, many of you really played along with the bedroom talk theme, which we had never done before and which I thought was super interesting. By the way, we also used that in the Fluttering 2.0, which is a specific exercise for the members. And yeah, some very interesting things came out of that one too. Right? But we are here for a new theme. And before I dive into that, of course, I have a winner to draw. So I'm going to put all of this aside. And I have my little jar here. So I'm going to flip the camera already so that you can see which name it is I'm going to be drawing. Lotta is saying it was eye-opening. It was indeed. It was very interesting. Okay, flipping the camera. Ta-da! And now you can see my hands. Oh my, that camera is really close. Let's see if we can do that. I have all the names of all the people who entered their spreads last month. So every time you entered a spread, your name went into the draw. And they are all here. I'm looking at the camera. As you can see, I'm not cheating. Yes, I'm having one in my sleeve. All the names are here. Here. I'm looking at you while I'm, if I'm looking at you, I'm looking at the screen. Obviously, so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, looking up. And this name, which is Linda, I am. Congratulations, you are the winner of this month one-on-one a layer a day giveaway, which means that we're going to spend half an hour together or a little bit more. And we will be doing whatever it is you want us to do. That might be talking about our channeling techniques or our channeling background or a spread that you're stuck with, or do a little very eeny, tiny introduction into therapeutic working with our art channel, which is always super duper interesting. So Linda, I'm looking forward to spend some time together. I'm keeping your name on the side, putting these away. There we go. And now I can flip the camera again. Here we go. Coming back to YouTube. I just saw Linda's comments who said, "Congrats, Linda, that's me." I thought you were congratulating someone else. Yes, Linda, it's you. We're going to spend time together. Even more than we already do. Being one of my amazing members, Linda, this half an hour or a little bit more will be especially for you. But now, it is March. We are on a new month, which means that it is time for a new theme. And Like I said, we have done bits and pieces of this one before. We've never done it as thoroughly as we're going to do it this month, because I think we've done like 1 week about that. Now we're going to drag it out because there's so many aspects to it. And that theme that I'm thinking about is balance. Ta-da! We are going to talk about balance. And boy, oh boy, is there stuff to say about balance. So first of all, balance, when you look at the definition, it's always about an even proportion of things. It's always about a correct proportion, whatever that correct may be. And we very often talk about the work family life balance. We very often talk about emotional balance. We very often say that we are feeling disbalanced about things. And I'm curious to see what that means. So the first bit of balance that we're going to look at, which is actually the base of all balance, is symmetry. Symmetry meaning having the same thing on one side and on the other. So where is it that you have symmetry in your life? Where does it immediately come to mind that, yes, I have A and A on both sides. I don't have A and C on the other side. Or where is it that you don't have symmetry, where you're like, it feels like it's symmetric, but it absolutely isn't, because that might be very interesting to look at as well. And of course, within the Flutterwings 2.0, I can already tell you now, we are going to work on the same theme. We're going to work on balance as well. But of course, we're going to take it to a different place than what it is we're doing here within the A Layer a Day. So where do you have symmetry in your life? And Jane is saying, I'm a Libra. It's inherent to me. It's, yes. We Libras, when there's a lack of symmetry in things, we very often get put off. Like, but why? Why is that? That is for the end of the month. We're not going to go just there yet. First of all, we're going to look at where it is we have symmetry in our life. So that is week 9 of the A Layer a Day. And that challenge will run from today, March 4th, until March 11th. And I'm very curious to see where it is going to take you. So that is for the A Layer a Day. Now, it is the start of a new month. So I wanted to talk about a little something. Again, it's a subject that comes up very, very often when we are having the Hangouts. And I also talked about it with one of my members very recently. And it's the amount of stash that we have. Now, you might go, look at you talking with all your fancy paints behind you, like right there. That is all I'm using. All the mediums that I'm using are actually here. That is all I use for my own personal use within my studio. And the reason that yes, Jane is already rolling her eyes like, really? Yes, really. It has such a huge impact on our way of working, the amount of stuff that we have or that we wish we had, because that too is part of, I was going to say, the suffocating effect that our studio can have on us, or the suffocating effect that our little creative corner can have on us. I myself consider myself a minimalist when it comes to how much stash I have, because first of all, I want to use what it is I have, but most importantly, I don't want to feel drowned by all the things that I have around me. And I wanted to have an even closer look at that by focusing on using what it is you have. Hi, Sabina. How cool to see you. Sorry, getting distracted. But I'm happy to see a friend in the comment section. So yes, using what it is we have. And on top of having that, having had that conversation with a specific member, she might recognize herself, waving at her, not naming anyone. The reason that I even more wanted to talk about that is that I was looking at a video recently, which I almost never do because I don't want to be influenced. I don't want to be influenced style-wise, but also product-wise. Yes, because it's when I look at other things that I'm like, oh, maybe that product. I don't need that product to actually get to express whatever it is I need to express. I can do it with whatever it is I have. And that one particular video, she started to add shading with a product that I don't have and that I'm not going to buy. Because when I was looking at it, I thought I already have at least 4 things like right around me here that can do the exact same thing. So she was adding shade. Let's check it out. Let's check it. She was adding shade, right? Which is basically just adding black around things. Let me flip the camera again. I have flipping the camera. So this is one. This is already one that I have. This is just a Derwent charcoal pencil. So I have a regular charcoal pencil. I have my all-time favorite. That is why he has a special place here next to me and I can find him immediately. This is my water-soluble pencil. This one is very soft and it blends out amazingly with a little bit of water. I also have, because they can do that too, any kind of Posca pen can do that same thing. I mean, these are water soluble. So if I just add a little bit of black around the shape that I want to add shade to, that was a good, very well constructed sentence on my part. I can use that one just as well. And I need to flip the camera again. Well, not to flip the camera, but to come back to the YouTube one. But I'm not done yet. Then there's these. I can add shadow with this black one. Like I said, at least 4, right? We're not done. I have other products that I can add shade with. I can go in with this. Just pick it up with a water paintbrush and I can add shade with that too. I mean, it would do the exact same effect as this one, although this one might be a little bit more intense, but this one can do just the same thing. Now let's have a look. I guess that I have more things that could do that. Actually, I could even use regular black paint, water it down again, and then use that to add some shade around whatever it is I want to add shade around. So the way she did it was, again, differently. And yes, Jane is saying 5 for 5 so far. I bet that if I keep looking around here, I can find even more ways to add shade. How many products do we need to actually start creating a spread? One of these would have been enough. I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry, I have 6. And I bet that if I look around, I just realized, wait, there's more. There's also this. That one could do that too. So we're at 6. And I bet that if I look around in my studio, I can find even more ways to just add the shade to whatever it is I want to add shade to. Now, what is the problem with having these many products around me? And let me flip the camera again. Here we go. I get drowned in the options that I have. There are so many options surrounding me that in the end, I don't know which one to pick anymore. And then it can become overwhelming. And then, well, I get stuck in my creative process. Instead of being inspired and able to continue in my flow, I will get stuck in whatever process it is I want to roll in. But the same thing goes with colors. I was just talking about black stuff here. If you start to think about how many options you have when it comes to applying color to your spread. Okay, let's play an honesty game here. If I would tell you to add, let's say, green, how many options would you have? I would like to see numbers in the chat. I'm going to play the same game, green. Having a quick think. Okay, I have my number. I know how many I have. I'm going to write it down so that I don't forget. Oh my God, at least 30 options. Oh, wow. I'm impressed. I'm definitely impressed. Okay, I'm not talking about shades of green. I'm just talking about one particular color green. In how many different ways would you be able to apply that? Because 30, that is probably counting, yeah, all the different shades. Just go for one type of green. And how many different products do you have it? Oh, I forgot one. Gee, I need to add one. There we go. I'm curious. I want to see numbers. Trude is saying 6. Not sitting at my desk, but many. I appreciate your honesty, Sabina. 7. Are you sure you're counting everything? About 10. Okay. So I'm going to list mine because maybe it will help you to get through yours. So I have my new colors. I have my paints. I have my distress inks. I have my distress sprays. I have my Lindy's sprays. I have my powders, 2 types of powders. I have my charcoals. I had a 9th one. Where's the 9th one? Oh, and my markers. So I have 9. I have 9 different ways to add just green to a spread. Which means that when I'm working on a project and for some reason I feel I need green because something inside of me is screaming green at that moment, because that is what is matching the emotion that needs to be expressed on the paper, and I feel the first thing that will come up, it's not a product, it's a color, obviously. So the first thing that will come up in my mind is, yes, green, I need to add green. But then my mind will have to go over all those different options. Can you feel it getting drowned here with all the choices that there are? That's too many. That is just too many. I just realized I have too many different types of colors. At the same time as we are working in mixed media, depending on what you have on your spread, depending on what you want to do next on your spread, you might need a different medium. So you need a couple of options. I'm not saying that you don't need any options. I'm just saying that even for me, and I'm not considering it in terms of because I'm better than you, but even for me, considering myself being a minimalist, 9 is actually too much. Now, my markers, I only use those when I'm actually colorizing an image. I will not use those when I'm working in my journal. So it actually comes down to 8, but even 8? Yeah. Stabilo and embossing powders. Okay, yeah, for me, I never use color embossing powders. I have them because I use them in workshops. I don't use them in my art journal. The only ones that I will use is black, white, and maybe translucent or transparent. That are the only ones. So we have 12, 14. So Shlotta, you're making it worse for Jane. Jane, we said it was all about honesty. So Linda says 2 colored pencils, 2 different paints, 1 pen, 2 markers, not a big green person. Linda, what if I said blue? Maybe that number would go up. maybe you might have more if I said blue. So getting yourself drowned out when you are actually trying to tap in your emotions and feelings is like having a conversation with your therapist while there's music playing. And even worse, if it's music that you don't like. And you're trying, while you're talking with your therapist, to tap into your feelings and emotions and trying to make sense of those, trying to verbalize those in that moment while all that sound is coming in. That is making it very hard on ourselves. So that is why I'm a big advocate of toning down everything it is you have in your studio and only have what it is you actually need. So since I made that video about my studio setup, obviously a lot has changed. Everything has moved around. Sorry, Linda is saying it would take me all day to count them all. There you go. Maybe I shouldn't have said green. So my studio has moved around and things have been set up in a different way. When I showed the video, everything was in two drawers next to me and my little IKEA cart, and now a little advertisement here, and now everything is here in my two little stacky things and hanging there. So yeah, being drowned out when you are actually trying to art journal might not be the best way to tap into your emotions to be able to put things in your journal. I think that was I've talked about it so many times when we were doing the hangouts, but I don't think that I will say it enough how an impact it has when you are actually art journaling. And I hope that comparison with trying to talk with your therapist while there's music playing. Imagine having like really intense jazz where everyone is improvising while you are trying to tap into the deepest emotions and feelings to try to express those. Right? So maybe, and here's the loop, maybe we need to try to create some balance there too. There we go. So, Busy Bee Gal, I think, is saying too many options definitely is a deterrent to my creativity. I realized that a couple years ago and made a promise not to buy anything more until I use up my supplies. That will be a good 5 years. Okay, I would like to make a counter proposition. Because sometimes you can also get so frustrated because you don't have that particular color that you're feeling right now. It's not in your stash because 2 years ago you were not feeling that color, or you were not feeling that particular type of crackle paste or what's not. How about you can get a new one if you get rid of a couple ones? And you need to get rid of them in a sensible way, like giving it to someone who, like you in that moment, needs it. And maybe you can even swap things, like I'm not using this anymore, maybe you're not using this anymore, maybe we can make a little swap here, so that you don't get completely blocked, because it's like going on a no shopping period kind of thing. It's like saying I'm going to go on a diet, and that is when you see all the chocolate and crave all the chocolate that is around you. So that's a different kind of blockage that you might be imposing on yourself, and there might be ways to soften that down. The way that I got to this was to get rid of a lot of things. I gave away many things to people who could use it more than I could. And seeing them being so happy made me happy. And then, see where this is going. My big daughter already hates me because I give it all to my granddaughter. Okay, I am not saying impose your clutter on someone else. That is not what I'm saying. I was saying, and give it away in a sensible way, in a way that makes sense, that enriches you, because giving it away to someone that will make that person happy will enrich you. So not only are you downsizing, but you are feeding your soul. Wow. Okay, that is what I wanted to slightly touch today. My granddaughter loves it. Of course she does. Any kid would. By the way, giving away to schools is a very interesting way to make schools happy, kids happy, and downsizing it on your end. If there are no more questions, that is all I had for you today. So I'm going to circle back to our challenge, which is all about balance. And this first week, for week 9 of year 6 of the A Layer a Day, we're going to start with symmetry. Where is it you have symmetry, and where is it that you don't have symmetry? Don't start to look at the whys, how, blah, blah, blah. Just where it is you have it or don't have it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. It was a pleasure spending this moment with you. I now have all these blacks in front of me, which are staring at me and are making me feel a little bit guilty. So I'm going to have a little conversation with me, myself, and I about this type of balance for this week. And if you're one of my members, I'm seeing you tomorrow. For the Chrysalis members, we are hanging out. That's it. I'm having a hard time saying goodbye. I'm having such a good time spending here and reading all the comments that are popping up. Thank you, France. We can talk about our day on the 10th. Yes, because that is when we're hanging out with the Caterpillar and other members. I don't remember. Okay. Signing off. Thank you so much. Don't forget to put down a layer a day in a mindful way.